Joining us now, BYU swim and dive head coach John Brooks, return guest. Good to have you back in Studio B, John.
Yeah, I love being here.
Okay, I want to know first and foremost, can you beat any of your swimmers in a race in the pool right now?
No, not right now. No way.
When could you have beat them?
In my prime, just like everyone says, right?
Okay, okay.
Do you ever get in the pool just to see how you compare to them?
No.
It's like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
Not even worrying about it.
You put in the work. You establish your legacy already, right?
Yep, done. Yeah.
It's time to be a coach. Hey, Arizona State coming to town on Saturday. Really intriguing, entertaining meet that we anticipate between you and the Sun Devils. Why do you feel like this is a must-watch meet for fans of swimming?
Well, we only have 3 or 4 home meets, and so with only 3 or 4, it's it's a great opportunity to come. It's free. People can watch hot girls in swimming suits, hot guys in swimming suits, whatever it takes,
There's that.
But
factor.
they should have some very good competition on both sides, in both swimming and in the diving area. So this is our first official home meet. So hopefully we put on a pretty good show. We're trying to do some more fun things in between breaks that we have at the meet to entice people to come watch us swim.
Oh, like what?
We do 2 breaks, but one of the things that I guess that they're going to try to do is have some remote control boats to race in the pool.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's
So
sweet.
we'll throw out some some shirts and towels or whatever else we can to get people to come to the meets. Yeah.
Very cool.
So now Arizona State's coach is Bob Bowman, and for those that obviously maybe
Watch the
following
Olympics.
things in the Olympics, yeah, I mean he's the U.S. national team coach. He's the coach of Michael Phelps, somebody that I'm sure most people have heard of. Yeah. What kind of program does he bring in?
Well, this is his 2nd year at ASU, and he has coached at Michigan before several years back, and he has a very unique coaching style. And so when he took over the program there 2 years ago or last year, he had some athletes that left the program immediately because they just didn't want that kind of style, and they had a whole bunch that wanted to come in. And so it's a whole mix of a new program that he's got right now.
Joining us now is John Brooks, BYU swim and dive head coach on BYU Sports Nation and in Studio B. What are your expectations for your team this year in terms of chasing down a championship and the things that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, for our men's team, we are now, I think this will be the 4th. If we win, it'll be 4 years in a row in the MPSF. Women's, it's been a couple of years since we've won, and so we've had a little bit of a relapse on our women's side of things just because of the whole mission. We've had a bunch of women that have left and gone on missions and just waiting for a good cycle for them to start coming back and really starting to contribute towards trying to win a conference championship. So I'm really trying to help our women's become better and more competitive in our conference, but our men should be able to, rematch that and bring it back to BYU.
The favorite in the MPSF. Now, you bring up an interesting thing that coaches are dealing with now at BYU, and that is an influx of missionaries on the women's side of things. BYU women's soccer is seeing that happen, volleyball, and now you. What kind of adjustment has that been for you in recruiting and setting up your teams, knowing that, hey, some of these girls might go serve church missions for 18 months?
Yeah, if they can tell me up front, it's really easy. We can work with it. Just like the guys, if you know a guy's going to go for 2 years, and if you know a woman's going to go for a year and a half, that's great. If they tell you later on in the season, and when you don't have time to replace it, it's just a killer. It really hurts because you have no time to, last minute try to find somebody to replace those events. That's tough, really tough. So something that the administration's been kind of talking to me about, just wait, blessings will come. So I'm waiting for some blessings to come.
Yes, where are they? Please give me them now.
Yeah.
So what's happening with Jake Taylor, the All-American, right now in his career?
Jake Taylor is, I guess he's retired, as he likes to say. He does help us as a 5th-year coach on the deck, and he's going to be a dad, is what he told me. He's going to have a boy, I think, in the next few months.
Fantastic. Congratulations to Jake and his wife. Very exciting.
Yeah.
How much are you able to keep up with the swimmers that you have coached, and how much interaction do you have with those that have moved on and gone on to other things?
Some stay really close. Some don't stay as close as they can. We try to do the best we can. We do have an alumni, swimming meet that we have, but kind of like we were talking about earlier, for someone that hasn't put on a Speedo in a little while, that's like the last thing they want to do is kind of put on a Speedo. They don't look so good anymore. So we just want people to show up whether or not, it's swimming or not swimming, just show up, and we have a pretty good rapport. In fact, this last spring we kind of had an alumni association group that came back, and we had a huge turnout, and it was some of them hadn't been back to BYU in 20 or 30 or even 40 years, but it was great to see a lot of them come back.
It's interesting. Most sports fans have a pretty good idea of what's involved in training for football or basketball because they've seen that. Give everybody an idea of what the training is like for the swimmers and the divers, and just how much work goes into that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has any idea. So we swim twice a day, every single day. In fact, and lifting on top of that. So, real simply put, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays they're actually doing 3 practices a day. They say that swimming is a 1-to-4 ratio to running, and we average around 30 miles a week of swimming. So that's like 120 miles of running a week.
What in the world?
Yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, we have to feed our athletes, and a lot of our guys and girls, they can't keep up with the amount of volume they have to do in the waters just on the sense of dieting. So it's a lot of food they have to keep up to make sure you're fit. I always say, to people, like, you don't look that good in a Speedo or a swimming suit if without doing something, right? Those Olympians that you watch, they're putting in a lot of volume in the water, a lot of swimming.
Yeah, you've got to earn it for sure. You can watch BYU swim and dive against Arizona State, one of, I think, 4 home meets this season, correct, Coach?
Yeah.
When and where do the fans need to show up so that they can watch this happen?
Richard Building at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Richard Building, the swimming pool.
There'll be boats in the water, T-shirts thrown out, and you get to watch some elite level swimmers and divers. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Hey, John, great stuff. We wish you the best of luck on Saturday. Let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma so that you can take that to your team.
We need it.
Go and beat the Sun Devils, man. Again, we appreciate the time.
Thank you.